Ranked games are rigged. There is no possibility for a single player or a group of players to change their ranking. They can't go up or down. There is a very strong AI in the game, which is making sure of it. The AI is usually these days playing like opponents to players. But it's not always. You can also have a few human opponents in your opponent's team. And usually you have a few AI players in your team as well. It usually is up to 3 players. This is all part of MMR manipulation. This is a business model which is set up on selling players' accounts and selling boosting services, perhaps coaching as well. You have been attributed a rank in the game which is meant to hold you forever. You cannot change this rank. If you start outperforming or underperforming your rank, the AI will make sure that you will be losing or winning games, as it needs to keep you on the rank. That's why you see, for example, 2 grievers on your team after you had a win streak, or you see very weak player on enemy team after you were losing. It's just to keep you where you are supposed to be. This business model is set on ability or opportunity for the game makers to be selling game accounts on the market or to be selling boosting services. If you be able to win MMR naturally, how many people would be buying boosting services or buying accounts? Not as many as they are now, because in the current system, more than 98% of players are losing MMR. In the game there are 8 ranks, and 7 of them have less than 50% win rate. So it means that 7 ranks are losing MMR. All of them have nearly 98% of all players in the game. So it means that 98% of players are losing MMR in long term. Only 2 to 3%, which is immortal rank, are gaining MMR. We know that it is a zero-sum game, so how it is possible that 98% of people are losing and only around 2% are gaining? The reason for this is that the MMR is being artificially extracted from the system by the AI players. That's what the AI is for in the game. You have probably seen it for yourself if you play regularly. Every time you outperform, you start winning a bit more, you will encounter an extremely strong team which will absolutely trash you. People usually say that they are smurfs, but of course they aren't smurfs, because otherwise every other person in Dota would be a smurf, and they generally play so well that they play better than world champions. You can see it in replays, last hit denied. Nearly none of them miss on the lane, net worth extremely high, and you can see it in all of the ranks, including Herald, which is absolutely impossible for players, normal human players, to have such a performance. Now, if more than 98% of players are losing MMR, a huge part of this MMR is harvested by AI players. They can make unlimited amount of AI players and accounts and level them up in a play against real players. Then those accounts are sold on a market. You can see a whole lot of websites offering boosting services and selling accounts. If this would be unsupported by Valve and the game makers of Dota 2, this wouldn't be happening, because it's far too easy to ban an account which is somewhere on the market. But nobody cares about it, and that's the reason that they have income from that. So this business model works on the hidden mechanics of having AI in the game, which is the biggest secret of the game, the biggest skeleton in the closet. They want nobody to learn about it. That's why they use term smurfs. Most of YouTubers, I believe, are paid to push the idea into people that there are so many smurfs in the game, and people get so confused from it that they believe it because they have no other explanation why there are so many good players on low ranks or any ranks in the game, or why there are so bad players. They just think they are smurfs, but in fact it is the AI doing its job, manipulating the win rate. Now, this makes from Dota 2 a theater, not a competitive game. It is just a theater which basically you don't control. When you win a game, it's not your merit. Usually there may be some games which are unmanipulated, but I think it's not many of them. And when you lose a game, it's not your fault because you've been made to lose a game by very weak players on your team, which is AI, or by very strong players on the enemy's team, which is also AI. So Dota 2 is not a competitive game, it is a theater, and it is basically a very complicated slot machine. You know that if you play casino game, slot machine or roulette, you are always against mathematics. That's why 98% of players in Dota are losing MMR in long term, because they are against mathematics. It is no coincidence that development of OpenAI 5 cost tens of millions of dollars, because there was a business plan to it. A business scheme which relies on creating stress and disruption and unhappiness among players in the ranking, because nearly all of players are losing MMR. This creates an incentive to buy boosting services, to buy coaching, to pay for new accounts, and generally be spending more money for the game. And at the same time, it allows completely new players or noobs to stay in the game because the game is actually supporting them, because they can't play the game. So the game is mirroring it by adding very weak opponents to the enemy's team to keep their win rate at the same level as anyone else's. You can see win rates approximately Herald 46-47%, Guardian slightly bit over, and it goes all the way to Immortal rank, which starts at 50% win rate. All other ranks have under 50%. So basically the new players can be immediately put into one of those ranks and having quite good success rate, or let's say not be losing so much so they don't quit the game. This system is made to amass the biggest player base as possible. If you want to see evidence and calculations, I put them into my video. It's got nearly 3 hours. But I believe it's very well worth watching, because it will save you another thousands of hours of falling in for this scam.